So we've got Amazon dictating, mandating to its employees, hey, January 2nd, you all need to be back in the office 5 days a week. None of this work from home stuff. That's not what we're doing. We're all working in the office and you're going to love it. And if you don't, plenty of other companies out there that you can go to work for. Literally, that's what its CEO said. Now, in the meantime, Amazon is dropping its commercial office space. It's just hundreds of thousands of feet in Seattle. It's dropping. Where are they moving those employees that are all going to work in the office? Bellevue, just over there, a couple of miles that away. Let's get into it. Here we go. You know, during the pandemic, Amazon was not releasing space and was not having its employees go back to a number of buildings in Seattle because those areas were so dangerous, overrun with crime and homelessness and drugs and fentanyl and poop on the sidewalk. That was a big thing. Now it's more like, you know, why would we send our employees to work in downtown Seattle, which has a bunch of taxes and doesn't really make it all that desirable for us to have our employees there, when we can go to Bellevue, who welcomes us with open arms, has better buildings, newer, and is a much cleaner city. Why would Amazon stay in Seattle? Well, they're not. Amazon moving out of Seattle office tower near headquarters. Amazon plans to reduce its Seattle area footprint and move out of a Denny Triangle office building as the e-commerce giant grows its presence in Bellevue. So Denny Triangle area in Seattle, downtown, literally is triangle shaped with the streets. I did a podcast there. Oh man, I think was it a live stream? I can't remember. I literally hopped out and they had just cleared out an enormous homeless encampment that was there during the pandemic. I got out of my car, literally shut my door, and yep, there was a hypodermic needle right there on the ground. It's like, welcome to Seattle. This is great. And that was in the Denny Triangle Park. And I've been back there a bunch of times. There's still tents there. I mean, it's Seattle, right? It's Freattle. People aren't going to leave. You sweep them out. They're just going to come back, do their thing. You enjoy this content and you want just a scooch more? Head on over to reasonabletv.com. We got you covered. Let's take a look at this. This is one of our episodes here. Lawless Seattle. 7-year-old among group of juveniles wanted for robbery in North Seattle. A 7-year-old was accused of robbery with a hatchet. A hatchet. This is too violent for other channels. So you want to get the good stuff? Head on over to Reasonable TV. We got you covered. $3.99 a month, 14-day free trial. A little bit cheaper if you go with the yearly, $39.99 a year. You won't be disappointed. Thanks in advance. Back to your regular scheduled program. The company had let its lease expire at the Metropolitan Park North building located at 1220 Howell Street, reported the Seattle Times. Amazon had leased roughly 209,000 square feet of space at the property. The move comes as Seattle area companies continue to reevaluate their office footprints. That means, hey, you know, we did this work from home thing and it seemed to work out pretty good. Maybe we don't need all of this expensive office space in downtown core. Amid hybrid work, with Amazon notably making the decision to resume its return to office mandate. I mean, the writing is on the wall, folks, whether you like it or not, whether your company is saying, oh, we're going to work from home forever. That's simply not the case. You're going to have a handful of companies that are going to be like, yeah, we want to keep you happy. It's one of our bargaining chips when it comes to employment. But yeah, this is what we're doing. You're going to be back in the office, so we'll see you there. Amazon has refocused its employee growth in Bellevue. Downtown Bellevue, Amazon has just a bunch of buildings. We've got office space there for days, right? We can handle the amount of folks that are there. Downtown Seattle, they need more businesses there because they've got a much, much greater vacancy factor. You've got more empty buildings. You've got less foot traffic going on. Downtown Bellevue, it's hanging pretty strong because we didn't defund the police. We didn't go down all that craziness. We don't have any homeless. Our police take the homeless and say, hey, how can we help you get the help that you need? And if you don't accept that, you go to jail. We send you back to Seattle where you came from. Amazon has focused its employee growth in Bellevue rather than its original campus in Seattle, shifting about 800 employees from Met Park North to other facilities across Puget Sound headquarters. Company also moved employees earlier this year after it declined to renew its lease in Seattle's West 8th Tower. Yeah, I don't think we're going to renew that. Here's another related story. No plans for Microsoft to follow Amazon's return to office policy. So as Amazon moves employees from Seattle over to Bellevue, you've got tons of office space. I mean, the Microsoft campus is literally over my right shoulder here, a couple of miles. It is not far. Microsoft, as kind of a bargaining chip, and the way that they're going to handle this return to office is by not returning their employees to the office. They're going to use it as a, hey, come work for us because we're not going to make you return to the office. It's interesting that Amazon is just dropping the hammer. A bunch of other companies are too, but there's there's kind of this notion that if you keep your employees happy, you'll be able to poach the best talent. Well, Amazon doesn't seem to think that that's a major thing because their CEO literally has come out and said, go work for somebody else. Try us. But that is perceived as a kind of a soft way to fire a bunch of people that you don't have room for in your payroll. So yeah, go work for somebody else. Now we don't have to fire them. They just voluntarily leave. What a great, great option. Amazon opts to not renew downtown Seattle office lease. So here's an additional story. Amazon has put at least 800,000 square feet of downtown Seattle office space on the market since 2020. Almost 1 million square feet. Yeah, we don't really want to have much of a presence in Seattle anymore. I mean, they, moved their headquarters, their HQ2 to wherever, 𝗪𝗥𝗘𝗠𝗜, and then brought it back. Company shifted employees earlier this year after declining to renew its lease in downtown Seattle. E-commerce giant is also letting go of 19,000 square foot South Lake Union lease at 507 Westlake Avenue North. It's set to expire next summer. While Amazon is opting to let go of these leases, the company recently opened offices in Vulcan Real Estate's 555 tower, and thousands of employees have moved to Bellevue in recent years because Bellevue doesn't suck. Yeah. I mean, downtown Seattle depends where you are, but if you are a big company, you've got this whole deal. Man, yeah, here's the headline. Amazon begins relocating employees to Bellevue office space. And a lot of this has to do with Seattle looking to big companies like Amazon to basically plug huge holes in their budget. Hey, we can squeeze Amazon. Literally, that was a campaign by 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗏. Tax Amazon. So when I say downtown Seattle sucks for a big company like Amazon, that's what I mean. And, relative to the safety that the Bellevue affords, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you can afford the commercial real estate in downtown Bellevue, which is arguably more expensive, and the cost of living is just more expensive in Bellevue than Seattle, it's a known quantity, but you're not going to get killed in Bellevue, right? You're not going to get robbed. You're not going to get mugged. You're not going to have your car stolen. Those are all, wildly viable options and things to consider in Seattle. It's just a different territory, even though it's only 8 miles further to the west. So Seattle mayor wants to tap more revenue from payroll tax on big business to plug budget holes. Tax Amazon. Bellevue isn't doing that. Bellevue is saying, hey, come to our city. We'll give you breaks. We'll give you discounted leasing. We'll give you safety. We'll give your employees the ability to do lunch in downtown Bellevue in a nice environment, and lots of people running around with lots of money, not people running around with fentanyl pipes and, just basic crackheads. So this is not a hard concept to imagine, and it's not a shocker that Amazon is doing this by any means. But if you listen to people in Seattle, they're just like, I didn't really realize that, Amazon's leaving. I don't really get it. Cause the culture here, Seattle has way more restaurants. They've got way more cool stuff like that. But sometimes you just don't care. You just rather not have your car jacked. You'd rather not have, visible graffiti everywhere, not have to deal with the homeless, not have to deal with the wigged out, drug addicts. So, there's a toss up there. And Amazon is saying, this is not a hard call to make. Bellevue, here we go. It's what they're doing.